Hi, it's me, Petra Fried, and welcome to Petra Fried Tries, where me, Petra Fried, an idiot drag queen and sturdy lady, tries the recipes of my favorite celebrity chefs. If this bimbo can do it, so can you. Everybody, it is Halloween season. Which means I want to make something with pumpkins. Oh, le pumpkin. So many uses for it. We may carve a jack-o'-lantern in it. We may stick pins in it. This is styrofoam. Or we can make pumpkin cupcakes. So today, we will be trying Martha Stewart's pumpkin cupcakes. Ooh! This is actually a really simple recipe. It's delicious, moist, fluffy pumpkin cupcakes with a cream cheese frosting. But what really puts it over the top are cute little marzipan pumpkins that we put on top. Lots of them. And I'm gonna make them all myself. Here. For you. See what I do for you? Why don't you appreciate me? I'm decked out in my prison yard orange. I got Snoop Dogg in the back with a joint waiting to go. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, the first step we have is to line our cupcake tin. This recipe makes 18 cupcakes. I only have one 12 count cupcake tin, so we'll be doing this in batches. But first, let's line our pan with papers. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ah. Oh. Ah. Yeah. What? Hey now. Geronimo! And, that was really hard and I'm really exhausted already. All right, let's set this aside. Okay, now we're going to mix up our dry ingredients. What we have here is a sifter. The first ingredient is 2 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. I'm gonna use my half cup because the hole's a little small. A little just the tip for you.
Just the tip.
Take a flat spoon or a surface. Smooth that out to make sure that you're actually getting that cup measurement. Ooh. I'm gonna put this directly on the sifter and we're gonna just sift it all in together. Let's see, gay math. 4 half cups is 2 cups. Wow, thanks Hooked on Phonics. Oh God, I wore black and I'm working with flour. What was I thinking? Next, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Why do they do this to me? Why? I guess we'll have to do maths again. This is a half teaspoon measure. 1, 2. A teaspoon of ground ginger. Math. 1, 2. Now, 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg. I almost put in a full teaspoon. Oops. 1/4 teaspoon of ground allspice. This allspice is probably from 1986, way before I was born. Excellent. Now we can just sift those in. Sift, 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 sift. Ooh! See, this is why we do it. See those big crystal-y things in there? We don't want that shit. Toss it out. We're just gonna whisk this up really quick, just so it gets nice and incorporated. Kids in copyright? Trademark? Let's set that aside and get our dry ingredients out of the way. Now, we're going to whisk together the wet ingredients. I love a wet ingredient, don't you? Wet's my whistle. we are going to do a cup of granulated sugar. Just the tip.
Just the
You
tip.
could make this much easier on yourself by getting lovely glass canisters for your countertop. But I'm cheap and lazy. Come on. Ah. Woo! Looks like the back room of Mar-a-Lago. 1 cup packed light brown sugar. I have dark brown sugar because I bought the wrong kind, which is really a shame, because if there's one person who I think would hunt me down and destroy my life for not following their recipe exactly, it's probably Martha Stewart. Packed. Yeah, we packed that in there all right. 2 sticks of unsalted butter that's been melted and cooled. Just the tip.
Just the tip.
If you have to melt this and you don't really have time to cool it, try melting it on a lower power in the microwave. That way it won't get super up to temperature, but it will melt really nicely, and it also won't explode on you. I love fat exploding in my face, but we don't want to ruin the work. Then we need 4 large eggs. Ah! Oops. Cut! Take 2. Nothing went wrong here, nothing went wrong here. Everything's okay, everything's okay. 4 beautiful eggs. Just gonna take a fork and beat those up a bit. Yeah. Gotta beat that up. Beat that egg, beat that egg. I have asthma. Into the bowl. And then, of course, 1 can of brand not recognizable pumpkin puree. That's gonna go right in with the wet mixture. She'll love a squish. Ooh. Smells like November 1st when you're walking down the sidewalk and what you see are the deceased carcasses of jack-o'-lanterns. Let me whisk it. Slow to start. Don't want to make a mess. Ooh, it's so sloppy. Oh, yeah. We're going to take our dry ingredients and add them to our wet ingredients. Just a tip.
Just the
The
tip.
more you mix this, the more you're gonna work the gluten in that flour, and your cupcakes are gonna be tough and chewy, and they're not gonna be light and fluffy. That's perfect. See, there's a few like lumpy spots? That's okay. This is where lumps are desirable. For food safety reasons, don't do those at home. Now, we're gonna load up our cupcake tray. The best way to do this to make sure you evenly load these cupcake liners is to use something like an ice cream scoop with a trigger. I'm like 4. Right, let's load these up. Ooh. Beautiful. And I preheated an oven for 350 degrees, and these are gonna go in for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm gonna check them with a toothpick. Stab them good. Yeah. Make sure they're done. Be right back. I just rifled through the garage because I knew I had another one. Wow. Am I sweating? Let's load the second batch. One lonely, empty recess. I'm sorry, my dear, but this is not your time. In they go. What? For the next part of our little pumpkin cupcake journey, we're going to be making little teeny tiny marzipan pumpkins that are gonna top our cupcakes. This is a 7-ounce container of marzipan. What marzipan is essentially is powdered sugar, almond paste, rose water, and almond extract. You can make it at home, but I am lazy. Actually appetizing, huh? Nothing like a chalky log. So what we're gonna do is separate this into pieces. We need to make different colors for our pumpkins. We have orange, naturally, green for the leaves. I do have purple and I have black because this came in a little Halloween kit of gel food coloring. But I'm gonna make brown with some of these colors. So we're gonna use green, orange, and brown. Martha says to cut this in half, but I feel like I need more than half of it for the pumpkins. I don't know why I would use half of it for leaves and stems and half for pumpkins, when the pumpkins are most of the... Anyway, I'm gonna do more like a 2/3 rule and she can sue me. Ooh, sticky. I'm gonna take the orange and add a few drops. Ooh, ooh. Truth be told, I've never used gel food coloring before, so this is a first for me. Let's see what happens. Ooh, transforming before my very eyes. We need more. Live dangerously, right? Needing the marzipan, just because I need marzipan for my recipe. Hey, that was working pretty well. And I have orange fingers. Who is that there? Who's there? Is this a home invasion? Ah, that's a beautiful orange. I'm here for it. Still does not seem like that much marzipan for 18 little pumpkins. Martha, what you trying to get at here? I'm gonna separate this accordingly, and you know what? I am gonna add some more of this back in. This is the whole point. We're making pumpkins. Righto, that's pretty. Do you see? Wait, how many cupcakes do I have? 23 fucking cupcakes. Let's do this. I am not gonna make all of these pumpkins the same size because then what kind of personalities would they have? We're not all the same, so they're not all gonna be the same, okay? That is my diversity, equity, and inclusion statement for today. And also my hands, I look like I've murdered them. This stuff is sticky, y'all. Sticky as a back room. Just gonna make them all little balls. I'm gonna get a small cutting board to put my completed pumpkins on. So Martha says to take a toothpick and make little indents so they look like the ribbing of the pumpkin. Let's see if I can do that. Once around, and around again, and around again. I'll be damned. Okay, it's a little primitive, but you can make that work. See that little pumpkin? Cute. Marzipan is sticky, like unpleasantly sticky. 2 out of 23. Great. Just great. I'm making an executive decision here, and I'm going to actually put these on parchment paper, so I think they'll be much easier to remove. Ha-ha! A little just the tip.
Just the tip.
Dip the toothpick in a little bit of water to avoid all the stick. So, what's your favorite scary movie? Mine? When Harry Met Sally. Okay, but honestly, what kind of stay-at-home house husband has the time to make these? Last one will make it good. It looks like a little butt. Yay! See? Look at that cute little pumpkin. Let's do the green. And a few drops. Super green, my man. More green. More. Cute. Cute. That looks great. That looks excellent. Ooh. So Martha Stewart has the nerve to tell me to roll this out to 1/8 of an inch thick and use little mini cookie cutters in the shape of leaves. Do you see how big these are? Do you see? Who the hell has a cookie cutter that small in the shape of a leaf? Huh? I had to go look up what pumpkin leaves looked like. And they're complicated, so we're just gonna do nice and simple. It's gonna be cute, see? Oh, I love it. Now, why did I need all this to be green? What was she fucking thinking? How, you cannot roll this out. You cannot roll this out. What? Lunacy. I'm angry at the amount of waste of green marzipan this is. What on earth were those proportions? I would say do 90% orange, and then the other bits, the brown and green, you can make with the last 10%. I'm gonna take some of this, and using the color theory that I know, add a little purple and a little orange, and hopefully I get some sort of semblance of a brown stemmy color. Hey, look at that. Well, I'll be. Looks like brown to me. Kind of an unpleasant brown, but there you have it. Brown. Wow, we did it. Thank you, Mrs. Devine, my 5th grade art teacher. I think the only way to really make this work is to just do little balls of brown. Stick them right on top. Oh, that's cute. This is disgusting. Ew. Ew. It looks like I have a piece of cat shit on my board. Gross. Ew. The things we do for art. So the best method I found is to sort of crash the stem of marzipan into the little pumpkin and then pull up, and it kind of creates a stem. That's the best I got. Ta-da! Look at the little pumpkins. Look at the little pumpkins. Let's set these aside until we're ready to decorate. Okay, that was fun and disgusting. I don't know if you can see this, but like, I'm not saving that. The proportions in this recipe are bonkers. You need so little of the brown and green, and you really need all of the marzipan for the orange pumpkins. Plus, I think that gel dye kind of makes it stickier and harder to work with. And the last thing I want is to save this cat shit brown marzipan. So that's gonna go in the trash. The rest of this, maybe I'll salvage for something else. In the meantime, let me tidy up. Oh, hello, I'm back. So through the magic of television, my cupcakes have been removed from the oven and they are resting. They need to sit for about 10 minutes before you take them out of the tin, and for another half an hour or so until they cool all the way. Otherwise, our frosting is just gonna melt right off. And as much as I love a melty, gooey, creamy, cheesy, you get the picture, we want our cupcakes to stay intact. But in the meantime, I can make the frosting. Let's get started. I have an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. Martha says to just use a bowl, but I am, let's hear it again, lazy. So I'm gonna be using a stand mixer. I'm gonna start mixing it on a low speed. Just light and fluffy. Come on, you get creamy. There we go. And then I have a stick of butter that's been cut into cubes, and it's really soft at room temperature. Add the butter, little by little. I don't believe for a second this amount of cream cheese and butter is enough frosting for 23 cupcakes. Let's double it. We're going rogue. Cool. Next, I'm going to measure out, because I'm doubling this recipe, it was 1 cup of powdered sugar. I'm gonna measure out 2 cups of it. A little just the tip.
Just the tip.
If your confectioner sugar has been sitting for a while, I would sift it because it gets clumpy and it can get quite hard. Now, we get to mix it together and try a new accent. A little just the tip.
Just the tip.
Don't put it all in at once, or you will be inhaling it. You can see it. Cheesy, greasy. Ooh, that was creamy. Creamy. Last ingredient, vanilla extract. We're gonna put in 2 teaspoons. Ooh, that is so good. Gotta give Martha credit. This is really good cream cheese frosting, and I think it's because it's not so sweet. You really taste the buttery cheese. That's what I like. Let's decorate cupcakes. Ta-da! You hear me now? We're gonna make a assembly line. We're gonna take a little cup of cake and take a nice, creamy, give it a little nice swirl on top. Now, you could pipe, but let's hear it in the back. I'm lazy. And then we will take one of our little baby pumpkins and just place it right on top. See? There's our little pumpkin cupcake. Oh, how cute is that? Okay, 22 to go. Let's get going. And you'll be Barnaby, and you'll be Clara, and you'll be Alistair, and you'll be Veronica, and you'll be Jim. And voila! 23 pumpkin cupcakes by Martha Stewart. I think it's time we give these babies a little try. Who shall I go for? Maximilian, it's your time. Oh, okay. Wish me luck. What a treat. Super tender, a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet, not too sweet. There's not too much sugar in that cream cheese frosting. Let's try this little marzipan. A little candied treat. Delicious. This was a really fun recipe to make. Aside from the proportions of orange, green, and brown marzipan for the little topper pumpkins, and aside from the quantity of cream cheese frosting that the recipe calls for, again, it doesn't actually specify, it just says make this frosting to go with it. So I doubled that recipe and I had a little bit left over. I think you could probably do really fine with 1.5 times that recipe. You'd have plenty for all your cupcakes. But aside from those two things, Martha Stewart knows what she's doing. It's a good thing. Not a bad thing. It's a moist thing. It's a creamy thing. It's a sweet thing. It's a good thing. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Petra Fried Tries, where me, Petra Fried, an idiot drag queen and sturdy lady, tries the recipes of my favorite celebrity chefs. I hope you come back next time. And if you have any suggestions for recipes you'd like to see me try, put them in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, share. You know the drill. Until next time, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Run, get out of my house. Get.